Hey folks, this is Kelani. It's kind of crazy how many changes are being made to patch 8.2 with each build, and it's not just the big stuff like new content being fleshed out and new events popping up, it's also the small things like zone map changes, map icons, reward changes, and new rewards being added in for various activities, like leveling up your new bodyguard friends down in Nazjatar. I want to touch on two key changes that were introduced with the last build, the crab mount source and the Pathfinder achievement, which will unlock flying, because both of these things have changed slightly, but it's very important how they've changed. Let's start with the crab mount, because this one is a pretty big deal. Previously, the drop location of the Snapback Scuttler was just listed as Nazjatar. That's obviously not too useful when we're trying to determine an actual source, but a lot of mounts and other rewards that come from rares down in the Nazjatar zone also just had a listing of Nazjatar, so we assumed that the Snapback Scuttler might be joining the ranks of low drop chance mounts from any, or maybe even very specific rares in the new zone. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you won't have to farm your nutcrackers off killing the same rare over and over again in the hopes of this mount finally dropping. The new source for the mount is a guaranteed reward, so you can work your way towards it with a clear goal in mind, and you will get this mount eventually. The bad news is that this mount is going to take you a very long time to acquire. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because you're working towards it the entire time, but for anyone who was hoping to pick up this mount ASAP, you're going to be a bit disappointed. The Snapback Scuttler is a reward from the Undersea Usurper achievement, the meta achievement for the entire Nazjatar zone. That's not the only reward either, you also get the title of the Deeps. That's a pretty cool one, I might use that for a few days at the very least. Personally, I think this is a great way to reward something big. Meta achievements typically require you to do a whole variety of content in a zone or a raid, so making them a pretty beefy achievement that takes a good chunk of effort and time means you can also offer up some cool rewards for getting through it all. The Nazjatar meta achievement looks like it's going to take a while from what I know of the zone so far. There's 17 achievements in total, and they'll take you all over this new underwater but not quite underwater zone. Let's have a look at what kinds of things will be required to do. Tour of the Depths requires you to take part in most of the activities on offer in Nazjatar, just a little bit. You'll need to finish at least one emissary quest, easy enough, defeat one of the world bosses, gonna do that anyway, do the quests introducing you to scrying stones, defeat one of Azshara's champions, level a Nazjatar ally bodyguard chap up to level 5, defeat one of the elementals in Mardivis's lab, and find and assist Merl the Murloc. All of that shouldn't take too long, and you'll walk through most of it anyway, so that's a pretty easy first achievement. Nazjatar target eliminated requires you to defeat all of Azshara's champions listed below, for which we don't have a list yet, but it's safe to say you'll have to knock out quite a lot of world quests which have very specific mobs as their targets. I Thought You Said They'd Be Rare is a similar quest, although this one is about killing all of the rares listed below. Again, we don't have a list yet, but the achievement is pretty straightforward. Kill all of the named rares in the zone, with maybe one or two exceptions. I remember we had a quest like that for August that didn't take too long, but it could be a real pain in the rear when your last rare just refused to pop up for a few days. Aquitine Murder Force is all about leveling up your allies in Nazjatar. To finish this achievement, you'll have to get all 3 of your bodyguards up to level 10. That's going to take quite a bit of farming, and you'll need to make sure you have a bodyguard out at all times. Doing a few world quests and daily quests, and then realizing you forgot your little friend, is never a good feeling. All of that wasted experience. Trove Tracker shouldn't be too difficult, but it might be time consuming. You need to find 20 arcane chests and 7 glowing arcane trunks. The arcane chests are kind of rare, and I'm pretty sure these aren't the ones we'll see later which come from the scrying for treasure. You should be able to see these ones without using the scrying items. The arcane troves are even rarer and are usually tied to special events. I've only ever seen one of them, so getting 7 might take quite a while. A fistful of mana pearls is very straightforward. Collect 1000 mana pearls. I honestly don't know how long this one will take. Mana pearls have been up and down with their availability. One build they're super easy to get, but now they're extremely rare. They're also used for pretty much every vendor in Nazjatar, so you're going to want a lot of them. It just seems pretty hard to actually get any outside of world quests right now. It doesn't help that the daily rewards also seem to be random between different characters, so you might get mana pearls as a reward for your dailies, or you might get gold. Terror of the Tadpoles is a bit of a messed up achievement. You have to run into a big camp of murlocs and scare all their babies away. Or, well, scare at least 100 of their babies away. Sometimes I wonder if we really are the good guys in all of this. The interesting thing about scaring tadpoles is that the other murlocs obviously wouldn't like that, so you get a 10-minute debuff that constantly spawns more murlocs around you, and aggroes every other murloc from a mile away. It's not going to be easy scaring off those tadpoles if their parents have anything to say about it. This next one, Periodic Destruction, is a cool one for sure. You'll likely come upon Mardivis's lab while exploring. It's not really all that hidden, and inside you can find a strange machine and some crystals. You can use special items that are gathered in Nazjatar to empower one lesser and one greater crystal. Depending on what you empower, you get a different boss mob to face off against. These are actually decently hard to take down too, and they can kill you very easily if you're not careful. The main reward from this activity is mana pearls, a handful from the mob you kill, and then 5 from the quest to use the machine. The achievement is simple: kill all of the combinations that you can spawn using the machine. The problem is that you can only activate the machine once per week, so if you try to do this on your own, that's 13 combinations on screen I believe, so 13 weeks of progress. Grouping up and spawning different bosses and helping each other out will probably be the key to getting this done a bit faster. Nothing to scry about requires you to collect 100 treasures by using scrying stones in Nazjatar. These are kind of cool, but also kind of annoying. You can buy scrying stones from a vendor, and using them will give you a 30-minute buff. While you have that buff, you can find hidden treasure in Nazjatar. Just watch for your extra action button to pop up, use it, and loot your treasure. Seems simple enough, though half the time you're probably going to feel like you're running around like a headless chicken because you have no idea if a treasure will appear or not. If you ever run past a treasure, so your action bar pops up and then disappears again, it seems like you can't find that specific treasure again right away, which is definitely odd and hopefully changes by the time this goes live, because that's super annoying. But 100 treasures later, you'll get an achievement. Merl's Secret Stash is an interesting one as well, but mainly because the achievement has a requirement of Crimson Tide Stallion obtained. That's one of the new seahorse mounts that we didn't know much about, so I guess it comes from the Murloc trading game. This game requires you to swap items back and forth until you can trade for rare items and collect your daily trader reward. That daily reward changes every day, and there are quite a few options. Today's reward is a mana pearl bracelet that you can break to receive a couple of mana pearls. So I guess one of the days might reward that new mount, and then you'll get this achievement. You might also need a special cloak, which allows you to see extra rewards from these murlocs. That cloak is a bend-thick item, so it shouldn't be too hard to get down in Nazjatar. Back to the Depths requires you to complete a special event 10 times. This event spawns in the middle of the zone, but right now it just kind of resets every 30 seconds or so I guess right now it's impossible. But when the zone goes live, I assume completing the event 10 times shouldn't be too hard. You just need to watch for it appearing on your minimap and then go lend a hand. Puzzle Performer is a good one for anyone who loves minigames and puzzles. A specific side quest in the zone will unlock new world quests for you where you need to unlock various chests. You can get the ley-locked chests or the rune-locked chests. Ley-locked chests will give you a ley line minigame where you have to uncross all of the lines to win. We've seen this minigame used before a few times, I think. The rune-locked chests gives you a bejeweled minigame, which again we've seen a few times, but this one requires you to match a certain number of a specific colour. Matching 3 purple is fairly easy, providing everything lines up nicely and quickly, but matching 4 orange can get a little trickier, and that's something you have to actively set up yourself. I think they're a nice addition to the zone, but getting through this achievement is going to be a long haul type of deal. You'll need a specific world quest to pop up for each and every part of this achievement, so that could take a while for sure. Explore Nazjatar is pretty straightforward. Run around the zone until all of the fog of war disappears. You're also going to need this achievement for something else a little later on. The Unshackled is another straightforward one. Reach Exalted with our new friends down in Nazjatar. That's going to be the Ankoan for the Alliance, just to make sure no one gets confused. But that does mean you will need to hit Exalted with our new friends before you can claim the Crab Mount as your own. Subaquatic Support wants you to finish 30 Requisition or Bounty daily quests in Nazjatar, so this is both the Sack of Tasks quests, of which there are 3 per day, but also the Bounty quests, which can be up for your bodyguards. They're not always up for each bodyguard every day, so you want to swap to each of the 3 to see if there's a quest available, because sometimes only 1 is available, but other times you can get 2. Unfathomable is just an achievement to finish the storylines in Nazjatar. There are 3 different storylines with a bit of waiting in between each of them, but you should finish this way before some of the other achievements on this list. And then the last achievement for the meta is Feline Figurines Found. Find all of the 10 lost crystalline cat figurines that Ajara was gifted, and I guess lost somewhere along the way. Perhaps the most shocking thing about this achievement is that Ajara doesn't like cats. Who doesn't like cats? Oh well, her loss is our gain, 10 little mini kitty cats to collect. I assume this will take a bit of time to find all of them initially, but as soon as they're all found, you'll likely see a video from someone, somewhere, somehow, which will show you how to get all 10 to make it faster later on. And that's everything on the list for the meta achievement of Nazjatar. So if you want that crab, you're going to have to get busy down in Nazjatar. Some of these should be fairly easy, straightforward and fast, but some of them are going to take a long time for sure. Coming back every week for Mardivus's lab to create new monsters to kill, leveling up all of your bodyguards to level 10, finishing all the different rune-locked chests. There's no doubt this meta is asking for a lot, but all of your hard work and time invested will pay off when you're strolling through the streets on your sideways scuttling super shiny crab mount. It'll be worth it, trust me. The other thing I want to touch on real quick is the Pathfinder achievement, because another requirement has been tacked on to our flying achievement. Previously it just required Revered Reputation with a Nazjatar faction, and then Mechagon Rustbolt Rebellion faction, and then Pathfinder Part 1. All of that's fairly easy to do. Now it also requires you to explore both Mechagon and Nazjatar. So it's actually not really all that bad of an addition. You should probably have both new zones explored way before you hit Revered Reputation with them, so I don't think this will introduce any extra time to wait, but it does make me question whether or not anything else will be added onto the Pathfinder Part 2 achievement. I was fully expecting exploration of the new zones to be included, so I was a bit surprised when they initially weren't, but now it makes a bit more sense. And that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. What do you think of the meta achievement for Nazjatar? Quite a beefy achievement, right? Are you going to go after the Crab Mount now that you know what it entails, or is it something you're going to pass over because it's a little too much? Do you think they will add any more requirements to the Pathfinder Part 2 achievement and lock flying behind something else? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.